Welcome back to Rare Elvis Photos. I am looking forward to reading some of your comments here. It has been a bit of a hiatus and break for me, and I'm not quite done on the hiatus yet. I've got some things I've still got to do, but I will be back doing probably 4 videos a day very shortly, okay? And before I get to reading these comments from Rhonda to start with, by the way, thanks for making it to the end, M-I-T-T-E. What I'm planning on doing is probably having, maybe 4 books on one day, 4 books on the next. So there'll be 8 books total. There'll be, let's just say, Are You Lonesome Tonight at 8 a.m. and then Elvis in June at 10 a.m. and then perhaps, Elvis and Harold, a book by his I think his great uncle Harold, at like noon, and then maybe Child Bride at 2 o'clock. And then the next day will be Inside Elvis at 8 a.m. And then after that will be, maybe the Joyce Boba book at 10 a.m. And then the next day we'll start over again at 8 a.m. with Are You Lonesome Tonight. That way you guys have a schedule, okay? And then in between I'll do some conversations. We'll have some more subscriber series. Quite a few of you reached out to me, and I've reached out to some of y'all as well, who are very active on the channel. And I'm looking forward to bringing your stories to everybody. And then, of course, we will be talking with Billy Stanley more, Ronnie McDowell more, Derry Matera, and all the other guests that we have on here, and some new future guests. Hey, Rhonda, so thanks, Joe, for the video. Keep up with the great work. I appreciate it, Rhonda. It does get very busy sometimes for me in my life. That being said, y'all are my family. And I should have probably popped on at least once a day, even to do a video like this, which doesn't take as much prepping and planning, and I can talk to you guys while I'm driving somewhere. Like, I'm on the way right now to go play 18 holes of golf with a friend of mine, Greg. Rhonda Gale, what did Lisa die of? She had, I think she ended up passing away of sepsis, which that's usually what gets you. She had a abdominal surgery. And I don't know what happened, and I don't know whether the stitches, not stitches, but the scar tissue blocked things up. I'm not sure if I read the full autopsy, but she was certainly getting sick, and everybody could see it, so I don't know why they didn't get her to a hospital, get her to a doctor. It wasn't even a matter of having to act fast. Nobody acted at all. Carol Schneider says Elvis liked Brute. Yes, he did. That's right. He was Brute. It's funny, when I was a younger teenager, I remember getting Brute and Stetson. Those are the 2 colognes that I liked, and I don't think I knew Elvis liked those. Nowadays, there's so many different colognes and perfumes that you can get. My wife, I must have gotten her 10 to 12 different perfumes this last Christmas and Christmas before. So many different perfumes. All right, so, and the Undefined says the time Elvis spent with June was good for Elvis. Vernon and Gladys seeing the houses in Biloxi helped them. They knew when they saw Graceland. Hey, yes, it's a very good concept there, that maybe they saw some beautiful homes. I think there might have been a mention in the book about a beautiful home with pillars. Hey, Trista, appreciate checking in on me. You said, I hope everything's okay. We haven't seen you in a few days. Are you good? Yeah, just, there's so much going on with work. Plus, I'm reorganizing a space for hosting some of these videos, which means I'm building a lot of things out, clearing and cleaning a lot of things. And then, of course, I have family time with my boys and my wife. And then the job. It's anyhow, we all have lives, right? We all get busy sometimes, but thank you for checking on me. And what a horrible tragedy that just happened, in DC, and of course in Pennsylvania. Very sad. It's sad always when something like that happens, but when there's children involved, it takes it to an extra level of sadness. Sandra, on the conversation with Sarah Angel, which we will have back on, we will have a part 2 with her. I know y'all enjoyed her very much, just like you enjoyed Melissa. Musician Ronnie Smith talks about Elvis performing in various clubs with him in 1953 in Memphis, complete with locations, first-hand eyewitness account, I think that might have been Traveling with Trey or something like that. One of those channels. I read that before. This problem is a lot of the Elvis world don't believe it. They believe that some people are just saying things to put their names into a conversation. No, I believe them. I believe Ronnie Smith did go around with Elvis, and saw Elvis perform, and I think Ronnie was a musician as well. Because that just makes sense to me. I mean, 18 years old, and he was 18 once January 8th happened in 1953. Okay, he was still in high school, so if he wanted to hitchhike down to the Jimmy Rogers Festival, he could do that. He was 18, and back in those days, you were a man when you were 18. Hey, Julie, someone in Canada is saying bad things about you. I'm so sorry to hear that. This world has some crazy people in it. I wouldn't give them the time of day. What's the name of the Grace Pearl book on Elvis? I'm asking before the end, but I'm watching this podcast into the end. Thanks for all your interesting and fun videos. I just got terrible news the other day. It was probably a week or two ago that Grace Pearl had just passed away. I think it was her daughter that messaged me. And I don't have that. It might have been. I don't have the name of the book in my mind while I'm driving here. But it was something like, in my own words or something like that. He wore Brute and Old Spice. Yes, Old Spice. Old Spice is still a great, I like Old Spice deodorant. There's all these different smells that you get from the Old Spice, and I really like those. I don't think I've had Old Spice cologne before. I know I've had Brute, I've had Stetson back in those days. Now, there's, like I said, there's so many different colognes and perfumes, and they all smell great, right? Clara, on the video that says Lisa Marie's memoir, Honeymooning with Michael Jackson. Clara, you say that Elvis won. And Ginger Alden to the proof. I read the very beautiful book by Lisa Marie and Riley Keough, From Here to the Great Unknown. And, among the Thanksgiving, Priscilla and especially Jerry Schilling are not present. Jerry Schilling was cited as one of Elvis's historical friends and unfortunately the only survivor, the worst. He accompanied Lisa Marie to the presentation of Baz Luhrmann's Baz Luhrmann's Elvis. How come Riley didn't thank his grandfather's old friend? Why? I'll explain it to you. Because Jerry put in some visible pressure on the part of Elvis. And while we read the rest of that, I'm gonna play a song, but I don't know. I've always liked Jerry. I think that it's a tough task to try to figure out. Is there anybody out there that's ever been a absolute perfect friend to somebody? I don't think so. If you can avoid any major, big, huge, I don't want to say insults, big, huge deceptions or, I apologize, I can't find the right word, but if you can avoid any big issues in a friendship, that's great. But normally there's some issues here and there. And I don't know whether Jerry Schilling, a lot of people think that he might have had an affair with Priscilla. He's certainly been closer to Priscilla and close to Lisa, of course, which is good on that part. And he was the one helping Lisa. And there's only so much that somebody can do for somebody that doesn't want help. It would have been Priscilla's job to call a doctor, to call a hospital, to force an intervention, or Danny. And an intervention, I don't mean that in a way that Lisa was using. It was just a matter of get her to the doctor. She looks sick. She's stumbling around. We know that she's not healthy. Let's get her help. Instead of taking her home, let's take her to a doctor, take her to a clinic, get some x-rays done, whatever they need to do, MRIs or whatever. But this is well written, and of course I'm driving, so I can't read it all. It's a very long one. But let me know what you think in the comments of this comment. And I'll go ahead and play a song here, so y'all can read these wonderful comments, which I've already read, by the way. That's why they're on here. I screen recorded them, and I hit the love and the like, just to acknowledge that I've seen it, and so you guys know. And let's enjoy something that I wrote in tribute to Elvis.
was born in a shack in Tupelo, a healthy boy, but he lost his baby bro. He grew up poor, the dirt poor life. The only thing he had was a guitar and a bike. That was Elvis, born in 35, that was Elvis. The coolest cat alive, from don't be cruel to all shook up, suspicious minds to burn in love. That was Elvis. He died in the summer of '77. Priscilla broke his heart and sent him back to heaven. He sang his songs for all to hear. American Trilogy still brings a tear. That was Elvis, born at 35, that was Elvis. The coolest cat alive, from don't be cruel to all shook up, suspicious minds to burn in love. That was Elvis. He left us a gift in Lisa Marie, but now she's singing with Elvis in heaven's jubilee. That was Elvis, born in 35, that was Elvis. The coolest cat alive, from don't be cruel to all shook up, suspicious minds to burn in love. That was Elvis, from that's alright to all shook up, suspicious minds to burn in love. That was Elvis, Elvis, Elvis. That was Elvis, Elvis. That was Elvis, Elvis, Elvis.
All right, yeah, that's that's one of the first tribute songs that I did write for Elvis. And I know a lot of you are asking, hey, when can I buy it? Where can I buy it? And I apologize. That's another thing. I've gotten nearly all the copyrights back on my Elvis tribute album. The government works slow, by the way, and Library of Congress and all that stuff. But it will be on Apple Music, and it's going to be under the Sins Country, which is my wife and I, the Sins Country. And it's going to be probably Rare Elvis Photos, Songs of Elvis is probably going to be the title of the album. But yeah, I'm excited about it, and the more people that can hear positive songs about Elvis, the better off we are, in the Elvis world, because we love Elvis. We understand, we accept Elvis. He had faults. He loved his fans, he loved his family, and he worked hard. He was a hard-working human. That in a lot of ways he worked so hard that it really took his life, in my opinion. I think that if Elvis would have been able to relax a little bit more. Hey, Susan, about Anna Margaret's book, it's on my other channel, youtube.com/@ElvisAndTheLegends. And of course I'll be back on there doing stuff as well. There'll be other stuff besides Elvis on there. It'll be, that's why I'm starting to read the Anna Margaret book. You might read a Tom Jones book. Other artists that are out there that are associated with Elvis that we love and that Elvis loved. What's up, Drew? I do love the background as well. History is important to know, to understand who Elvis was. And you talked about how your mother and father talked about how poor they were and how poor their parents were. My mother lived in New York and my father in rural Northern California. Both families were poor, as most were that I remember. It's, that's interesting. My wife is from rural Northern California as well, up in the Yosemite Mountain area, the national park. Small little town up there called Sonora. We went out there and played a show a few years back, and it's beautiful out there. Good to hear from you. Here's another song here while we enjoy the comments and we read, and hopefully maybe you read your own comment. Maybe you see your own comment featured here. I do try to give you a voice on this channel.
I'm in a blue suede dream tonight, and feel the rhythm come alive. My heart beats to every Elvis song. On my turntable I turn on Hound Dog. dog echoes in my veins. Jailhouse rocking through the years are all the part of him that red remains. As we wipe away our tears, we say thank you to the mailman, say our grace and our amens. Live our life in God we trust. Yeah, Elvis is alive in all of us. Feel the tremor in the night, guitar strings start to hum, and the stars up there so big and bright as Elvis starts to strum. We say thank you to the mailman, say our grace and our amens. Live our life in God we trust. Yeah, Elvis is alive in all of us. Just a blue moon in the sky, can't help falling but don't wonder why. Elvis' spirit never dies in our soul. For all our lives we say thank you to the mailman, say our grace and our amens. Live our life in God we trust. Yeah, Elvis is alive in all of us. Yeah, Elvis is alive in all of us.
Hey there, Lynn from Canada. Hey, Joe, I live in Canada and would love to tour Grayson with Billy Stanley and celebrate Lisa Marie. Let's do this. Yeah, I'm working on it. Okay, so it's something I'm serious about trying to put together for everybody. And a lot of you folks will wonder why I haven't done videos with Billy lately. I've just been so slammed, so busy. And we talked about, we were doing a video every single week, and we just decided to essentially maybe make it every couple weeks, maybe even once a month. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Billy's a great guy, and he's got a lot of great stories. And I think he's a very special, important person in the life of Elvis. I think that he's very, very much overlooked, mainly because of some things that his brothers have said and his mom. But I truly believe that Billy is, for the most part, innocent in all of this. He certainly probably was hurt. He's certainly hurt by Vernon. Vernon felt, I believe, that either Ricky or David did something to Elvis. I think that's what Vernon felt. And he cut everybody out because of his pain, his anger. He had already divorced Dee, and then Dee was ticked off, because she was pretty much left with nothing after 17 years. But that being said, that's a whole nother story. Hey, Bubba Love Cats, haven't had a chance to watch the last couple of weeks. Always refreshing to come back and watch it. Thanks, Joe. Hey, haven't been around much for the last 2 weeks, so I'm glad you're here. Susan, right? Yeah, Susan Smith made it to the end. Appreciate that. Let's listen to another song by Paula Callahan. O'Callahan. Give us your thoughts.
Would the world still be painted black and white if that Technicolor voice had never sung? Would Pat Boone still be the hunk of burning love? Would the world have ever heard Ray Charles or James Brown if Elvis Presley's folks hadn't moved to Memphis town? We went from 0 to 100 miles per hour, from just a seed to a field of golden flowers, from horse and buggy to a rocket ship. Elvis did that with a shake of his hips. Some people try to say he stole a sound. Elvis just sang from down within his soul. With just his voice he broke the great divide between all music that was black and white. B.B. King and Little Richard thanked him. Elvis took the racist world and changed them. We went from 0 to 100 miles per hour, a field of golden flowers. From horse and buggy to a rocket ship, Elvis did that with the shake of his hips. Yeah, hips. This world would look like a different place if we never got to gaze on Elvis' face. We went from 0 to 100 miles per hour, from just a seed to a field of golden flowers. From horse and buggy to a rocket ship, Elvis did that with the shake of his hips. Yes, Elvis did that with the shake of his hips. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Mary, thank you. Nancy, thank you. I'm okay. I appreciate you very much checking in on me. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. I'll be back doing some more videos, probably tomorrow, maybe even tonight, but more than likely tomorrow. Playing around a golf these days takes a good 5 hours out there on the course, and there's not a really nice golf course except for about an hour and a half from my house. So, bit of driving on the road. Maybe I'll do another video on the way home and see how everybody's day went. All right, TCB, TLC, this is Rare Elvis Photos. Take care.